Stop the Joshua Zirkzee experiment and get Mason Mount into the starting 11. Man United much-maligned and injury-plagued star could be Ruben Amorim's saviour. The forgotten midfielder is rediscovering his old self after a poor 2 years and could be the perfect fit for his new boss. Before Ruben Amorim made his first appearance for Manchester United, he had already become enamored with one player: Mason Mount. "I have to say I love the boy," the Portuguese said in his first interview with United's official website. And within half an hour in the Czech Republic, it was easy to see why. The Red Devils were on the brink of a third successive defeat after Andre Onana's costly error against Victoria Plzen until Mount came on and helped turn the game around. Rasmus Højlund of course grabbed the headlines as he fired United to a first away win under Amorim and a first away win in Europe for almost 2 years. But Mount was also crucial to the turnaround and, more importantly, showed he is ready to revive his stalled career, and perhaps United's season. Promising partnership with Højlund, United struggled to create any bright moments in a first half in Plzen that was as gloomy as the cold, dark conditions in which the game was played. The team dominated possession but did little to get anything going, and Joshua Zirkzee was particularly wasteful, giving the ball away 16 times in a first half that left Amorim frustrated but unable to hide his frustration. Meanwhile, Marcus Rashford looked uninterested. Amorim wasted no time in turning to the bench, replacing Rashford with Højlund and replacing the hapless Zirkzee with Mount. The former Chelsea man struggled to make an impact when replacing Bruno Fernandes in the recent defeat to Nottingham Forest, but sparked the revival with a dynamic and intelligent movement. In less than half an hour on the pitch, he had formed a productive partnership with Højlund, who was better at linking up with players who wanted to run in front of him than simply pass the ball to his feet. The Danish striker created a good chance for Mount when he overlapped in the area, but Martin Jedlicka saved his effort from a difficult angle. Mount had been denied by Jedlicka moments earlier with a better chance after being teed up by Amad Diallo. A goal would have boosted his confidence considerably, but the positive was that Mount got into the position and made United much more dynamic and unpredictable going forward. And it suggests a future where Højlund and Mount could play together, starting in Sunday's derby at Manchester City. He'll do anything you ask him to do. Amorim is not the first manager to have taken a liking to Mount. The midfielder earned a reputation as Frank Lampard's favourite son, after becoming a key player for the Chelsea legend at Derby County and then back at Stamford Bridge. What I would say about Mason is, if you talk about the modern player and how the game has changed, he is the epitome of attitude, commitment and quality, Lampard told the Diary of a CEO podcast. The beauty of working with Mason is that he gives you so much effort every day. Whatever you ask of him, he does it. I think every great player has to have that kind of intelligence and desire. Frank Lampard said. Lampard's successor Thomas Tuchel also singled out Mount, despite not playing him in his first game in charge. Mount has been a key part of Tuchel's winning machine, playing a key role in the Champions League triumph in 2021 and contributing 25 goals in the 2021-22 season. It's always a pleasure to work with Mason because he's the type of player who always has a smile on his face in every training session, the German said in 2022. He's always 100% in the game, he accepts every challenge, and that's why it's a pleasure to work with him. Ten Hag's disappointment. That attitude made Erik ten Hag wake up and take notice when he was told United had the chance to sign Mount for £60 million, $76 million, in the summer of 2023. The Dutchman had seen the teenage Mount in action for Vitesse against his Ajax side and was struck by his work ethic. He hailed him as a complete and multi-functional midfielder in preseason and spoke in depth about the different positions his new signing could play. However, he has barely been able to make the most of it. Mount played just 663 minutes in his first season, he has started 5 Premier League games. He missed 4, starting with a hamstring injury in his second competitive game away to Tottenham, which kept him out for 6 weeks. In November, he suffered a calf injury, which kept him out for more than 4 months. He scored his first and only goal so far for United after coming on as a substitute against Brentford in late March. However, he suffered fitness problems again in April, and after making his first Premier League start in 7 months at Crystal Palace, he suffered a further injury, returning in the 93rd minute of the FA Cup final in May. It's a shame, it's disappointing for him, but also for us when you have a classy player in midfield and you can't play him, Ten Hag said in March. He had 3 injuries, as we all know, so he never found his rhythm. But I'm sure when he's fit, he'll play, he'll find his rhythm and he'll contribute to a successful Manchester United. Erik Ten Hag said. 2 miserable years. United will hope he can finally get into that rhythm under Amorim. Ten Hag has expressed his surprise at the player's continued problems given his excellent fitness record earlier in his career. But he and United have played down the fact that Mount's final season with Chelsea was blighted by injury. He had to undergo surgery on a stomach problem in April and has since emerged as a player who played through the injury to help the team through one crisis after another under Graham Potter and then Lampard upon his return. Mount is also believed to have been mentally affected by his departure from Chelsea, who prioritized signings when Todd Boehly took over in the summer of 2022 rather than tying down Mount's future. When he left Chelsea, he had just settled a long-running legal case relating to stalking by a TikTok influencer. It has been a tough 2 years for Mount, and he said he started the new campaign feeling re-energized, sharp and ready, only to suffer a hamstring injury in the second game of the season at Brighton. Mount vowed to do everything possible to get back to the best condition and help the team, but on his return to action against Tottenham he collided with Radu Dragusin, leaving the pitch with blood pouring from his head. He did not return to the matchday squad until Amorim's first game against Ipswich almost 2 months later. He really wanted it. The coach has played Mount in all 6 of his games but has been careful not to overload him with minutes given his recent struggles with injury. He has been impressed by his attitude and can sense his desire to recover everything he has lost, including his place in the England squad. His last game for the Three Lions was the 2022 World Cup quarter-final defeat by France. You can see in his eyes that he really wants this. And that is the most important thing for me, said Amorim. I know he had an injury, he didn't play on the pitch, but now he's trying to stay fit and we hope he can stay fit, to show all the talent he showed, for example, at Chelsea. He played in this system before, so it suits him very well. I have 2 positions for Mason Mount, so he should be very happy. Indeed, Mount's best form has come in Tuchel's 3-4-3 system, operating as a narrow winger on the left and right. Having a clear role is exactly what he needs after having to play different positions under Ten Hag on the rare occasions when he was available. And if he can stay fit, then he can hope to return to the England squad too now that Tuchel is the Three Lions boss. Mount's misfortunes could be about to change. And if he can build on his recent form and inspire United to wins, then the entire fanbase will join Amorim and all the previous coaches in falling in love with him.